Hello everybody and welcome back to Clash of Streamers Explained. Today, I'm going to be talking about the two different vendors in Clash of Streamers, the Merchant and the Marketplace. The Merchant and Marketplace are actually two of the best places where you can spend your resources, so it's important to know exactly what they're all about. Without further ado, let's get right into it. You first build a marketplace at best game level 11. However, it's not until you've reached best game level 16 and upgraded the marketplace to level 2 when you'll have access to all of its features. When opening the marketplace, you can see a list of 8 sales, a button which allows you to refresh the sales, as well as a notice board which states the rarity of the sales. Let's take a look at the sale rarities. You have a total of 3 different sale rarities: Legendary, Epic, and Rare. The rarity determines the overall value of each item for sale, where you'll find the more expensive and valuable deals at a legendary rarity and the least expensive and least valuable deals when the sales are rare. By default, the sales will start at a legendary rarity. Every 8 hours, you are given 3 free refreshes, and after purchasing discounted items at a certain rarity, the sales will eventually switch to epic and then eventually all the way down to rare. At the daily reset, the sales will return back to a legendary rarity. You can also lock certain offers in the marketplace. This way, you don't lose a certain offer after using your refreshes. By default, you can only have 1 offer locked at a time, but at VIP level 5, you have 2 locks, and at VIP level 10, you have 3. Although most offers seem like they would be affordable, just like every other area of the game, you can get upgraded loot. You can potentially get some very high level streamers in the marketplace if you're lucky enough. In this case, I managed to find a 6-star hero in the marketplace, which is pretty lucky. By default, the deals in the marketplace are offered at quite a good value, even the ones which aren't discounted. In fact, the default non-discounted sales are offered at around a 5% discount off the true value of the resource or streamer. If you remember back to our video where we discussed the most valuable resources, you'll remember that the value of a Get Lucky chip is 60,000 gems, since that's the cost of spinning the Get Lucky wheel for gems. If we look at this deal, which offers 3 Get Lucky chips for 171,000 gems, we can see that it's about 5% off the normal cost of 3 Get Lucky chips, which would be 180,000 gems. This automatically makes the marketplace a far better place to spend your gems, since you're getting resources at a better value by default. In addition to everything being offered at a 5% discount by default, you also have stuff offered at even higher discounts. When you see something offered at a 10% discount or better, it's actually a 10% discount off of the already 5% discounted resource, making it almost a 15% discount overall. If we head over to the marketplace odds, we can see the chance of sales being discounted at certain rates. As you can see, you can get discounts which range from 10% to 100%, and at a 100% discount, the sale would obviously be free. One of the more significant aspects of the marketplace is a mechanic called free rebuys. Every time you purchase a sale, you have a chance to be given a free rebuy of the exact same sale immediately after. Since some of the sales offered in the marketplace are worth quite a lot, having the ability to get sales a second time for free is a huge deal. So how can you improve your chances of getting free rebuys? The first way is through achievements. There's an achievement which you can get simply by completing purchases inside of the marketplace. The more sales you purchase in the marketplace, the more achievements you will collect, therefore increasing your chance to get free rebuys. Once you've collected a few of these achievements, you can view your free rebuy percentage from achievements inside of the marketplace. The second way you can improve your chances of getting free rebuys is through pets, specifically PogChamp pets. Equipping the Deal Specialist ability on your active PogChamp pet will increase your chance of free rebuys by a given percent. If you have a 9-star PogChamp pet and have collected the achievement a ton of times, it's very possible that your chance to get free rebuys can grow up to as high as 15 to 25%. Now let's shift topics for a bit. What exactly can you find in the marketplace? There are quite a few resource types which can potentially go for sale. You can find streamers, seasonal currencies, as well as pretty much any common resource. For the most part, you should look to purchase pretty much everything sold at a discount. Stacking up on these resources will put you in the best position possible to complete merchant deals easily, complete weekly events quicker, and build a stronger and better team earlier on. In terms of being able to build a stronger and better team, this is extremely important early on. In the early game, streamers are a huge help to your overall progression. They allow you to quickly improve your team so that you can get a solid amount of progression quickly from the campaign tower and the arena. When starting out, you should buy any streamers you find for offer until you run into your first major progression wall, which usually happens once you have a full team of 6 to 7 star heroes. This means you should be picking them up even if they aren't discounted. In the early game, every hero you get will be a huge help in improving your team. Once you find yourself out of the early game and have a team of 7-star heroes or better, then you should only really look to purchase streamers from the marketplace when they are discounted. At this stage, they won't be top priority anymore since you're not likely to improve your team much by getting a few 3 to 5-star heroes. Another thing to keep in mind is sale priority. If you're low on gems and need to make a choice between a few deals, it's important to know what resources will be best for your progression. Of course, this is often highly situational, but for the most part, we can group the marketplace resources into 2 categories: high priority resources and low priority resources. The high priority resources can be seen as the ones that help you work towards completing your standard weekly events. Resources like Kappa Scrolls, Tryhard Scrolls, Get Lucky Chips, and any other seasonal currencies. These resources are key to helping you progress through many of the weekly events that reset on a weekly basis, as well as the seasonal events which occur during certain weeks of the year. You can see these as resources which are needed much more often and immediately. On the other hand, the low priority resources would be casino chips, VIP tickets, Athene coins, and community chips. While these resources do contribute to their own special events whenever spent, they aren't needed as often and immediately as the high priority resources. Because of this, if you are ever low on gems and have to make some choices between some resources, you can keep this information in mind. While this info might be useful to help you make choices between different resources, they shouldn't be seen as rules that you need to stick to at all times. Sometimes the right trade at one point in time would be the wrong trade at another. It's up to you to figure out what the best call is in your situation and figure out what will have the greatest impact on your account progression. To summarize the marketplace, here is what you want to do. Every 8 hours, you are given 3 free refreshes in the marketplace, so make sure you always use them. With regards to purchases, you want to buy pretty much anything discounted at all times. Streamers are great purchases early game since they help you build your initial team, and high priority resources should be valued over low priority resources at times where you can't afford to purchase everything. And it should go without saying that you should purchase anything with extremely high discounts, which I would consider a discount of 50% or higher. Just make sure you're not completely out of gems so you can afford these really cheap deals when they come around. Now that we've discussed most of the important points of the marketplace, let's shift to the merchant. You first unlock the merchant at best game level 15. When entering the merchant, you'll be introduced to 3 deals. 2 of the 3 deals will refresh and change every day, and 1 of the deals will refresh and change every week. Unlike the marketplace, where you only spend gems on sales, you can complete the deals in the merchant by spending any other random resource. Everything from simply casino chips to mega chips and even PogChamp orbs can appear on some merchant deals. Perhaps the biggest difference between the marketplace and the merchant is the value of the trades. In the merchant, you can have trades which are worth millions of gems. At that point, a simple 10% discount is extremely significant, as it would net you hundreds of thousands of gems in the form of different resources. Similarly to the marketplace, you can also lock certain merchant deals. By default, you have 1 lock which you can use to have 1 of the 3 deals survive through the daily and weekly merchant refreshes. However, at VIP level 6, you are given an additional lock, so you can have a maximum of 2 deals locked simultaneously. These locks are best used when you happen to find an insane offer which you can't afford at the moment. Apparently, it's possible to find an offer for a madness chip in the merchant, so you should definitely stay on your guard and be prepared for some pretty crazy deals. Like I mentioned earlier, even 10% deals are significant, since the gem value of certain deals can grow up to the millions. If you check out the odds of the merchant, you can see the chances of getting different discounts on the merchant deals. The fact that getting a 100% discount is so rare should give you a good idea at just how valuable these deals are. You can actually improve your chances at getting better deals in the merchant as well. Similarly to the marketplace, the more trades you make in the merchant, the more achievements you will collect. As you collect more of these achievements, you will improve your chances of getting better deals. Also similarly to the marketplace, your PogChamp pets have an ability to help improve the merchant deals. In this case, the PogChamp pet ability you are looking for is Trade Master, which simply increases your chance of receiving better deals from the merchant. Seeing as the merchant offers some pretty crazy deals, this might be an ability you want to equip on your active PogChamp pet. So what deals should you aim to buy in the merchant? Well, you should pretty much get everything you see. Every trade will net you better value in the long run. Despite that fact, you should be aware of which resources you need at any given time. For example, if you are extremely close to having enough resources to complete the summon event, and there is a trade which requires you to spend some of your Kappa scrolls, it may not be the best trade if it stops you from completing the event. Similarly to the marketplace, the trades you make will be highly situational. While every trade may give you better value in terms of the resources gained, not every trade will give you the best overall account progression. Since this building is so highly situational, it's hard to give exact rules as for how to approach it. However, one thing is clear: you should always keep a reserve of pretty much every resource type. Even in the case of your rare resources like Mega Chips and Poggem Orbs, you should keep some in reserve because you never know when you might run into an insanely high value deal. Allowing yourself the opportunity to complete every deal in the merchant whenever possible is key to good account progression in Clash of Streamers. And that is pretty much all I've got to talk about for the merchant and the marketplace. As you can probably tell, there is quite a bit of depth to the two vendors, which are seemingly so simple on the surface. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. A lot more Clash of Streamers content on the way. Until the next time.